Raanan is fat and he's a Jew. He'll tell you something that you already knew. Your favorite movie sucks. Your favorite movie sucks. American Beauty or Forrest Gump. Your favorite movie sucks.
We are back with another episode of Your Favorite Movie Sucks. We have down to the sex dungeon tonight. We have Turner Sparks. Great name.
Thank you very much.
Killer name. Is that real?
Yeah, it's no Raanan Hershberg, but
Yeah,
it
it's
is
not
pretty
as-
good.
It doesn't roll off the tongue like Raanan Hershberg.
Yes,
But Turner Sparks.
Yeah,
that's
it's my Christian name. It's my
that's a
given name.
good. That's a good and you do a lot of corporates, right? That's a good corporate like Turner Sparks.
Yeah, you can trust this guy.
Yeah, you can trust this guy.
Yeah.
It's
Just
great.
Give him the money. He'll give you the
Turner
jokes.
Sparks, I love it. We have you on today. First, before we get into the movie, you have a new special coming out.
Yes, it's out.
It's out. Sorry,
called
I'm
Button
wrong
Up.
about that.
Button Up and Unhinged.
I already fucked up the plug.
Hey, who cares?
It's coming out next year. No,
Coming out 2 months ago.
Okay, yep.
It's on Dry Bar Comedy, Button Up, and Unhinged. It's my first special. I'm an idiot, so my first 2 hours are just audio.
Oh yeah.
I did
yeah.
albums.
Yeah, back in the day. That's
Yeah.
what I did too.
What you're doing, it's on the radio. That's fine. But then,
we
but
need
then
the
when
visual now.
The
we
minute
demand
everything,
the visual.
Yeah, when it switched all to video, I had nothing.
Yeah.
So then
we need to see Joe Rogan's bald head for 4 hours straight. Otherwise,
Yes.
you don't feel like
you need
have the
Tony
experience.
Hinchcliffe's cowboy boots.
Yeah, exactly.
So they were like, "Hey, do you want to do it? You can do anything you want." And I'm like, "Can I just do like a greatest hits of my first 2
Yeah.
albums? Because I didn't want to burn my new stuff."
Funny to be dry bar. You can do anything you want except for sex, drugs,
yeah.
politics.
Well, I'm clean, so for me, I can do whatever I want.
It's like when I did Comics Unleashed, and they have like
Me too.
They have that thing where like it's like Welcome to Comics Unleashed, and then under it's like no jokes about religion,
Yes.
drugs, government. I'm like, wow, real unleashed here.
It was they cut out my first. Not they didn't cut out.
They
but-
cut out one of your things.
No, you know how you pitch jokes to the producer?
Yeah.
The very first, I'm clean, and the very first, and I do like you said, corporates, private, whatever. I mean, at clubs too. But the first joke I pitched to them, they're like, "Whoa, it's a little too racy."
I pitched one that got knocked out too. I can't remember it, but it was definitely got knocked out. It was a
Yeah.
fun show though.
I had a blast.
It's really fun. The guy's like a psycho. He's just like prompting everyone. Like he's just like, "Hey, I hear you're a fat Jew. Talk about that."
The best is when he comes out, and if I were him, so he's an old comic, right?
Yeah, I think he's like 800 years old. I think he was like the first
But he was on
black
Carson.
person to tell a joke or something.
Yeah,
I think.
on
I don't
TV
know.
or
yeah.
just in the world?
In the world, yeah.
Yeah. So he was on Carson, like in the 70s or 80s, whatever.
yeah.
He was. I was talking to him afterwards. He was telling me all about like working with Richard Pryor and everything.
Yeah.
So he comes out when the show starts, and he does. It seems like he's going to do a monologue, does
And
it
he
not?
And he does not.
And then he just does it. And I'm like, I would be selfish. I'd be like, I'm paying for this show. Give me jokes. I can hire writers.
It is wild. It's like I did a show in Norway once, and like I guess they don't know how hosting works. I was like, I'll be the host. It was a Norwegian guy, and I was like first. He went up and he was like, "Hey, everybody, your first comedian." I was like, "That's it?
That was the Byron
That's
Allen
your warm
move.
up? Just hey, everybody." That's your big way to warm up the crowd.
Yeah, he comes out and he goes, "Hey, what's up?" He waves to the crowd, does the thing, and everything you would do right before the monologue.
Yeah.
And then he just goes, "Now to the show."
Out of the shit. He's like, hey. He's the one comedian I know who like really. Most comedians, you actually hate the part we go on stage, everyone's clapping, and you
Yeah.
gotta wait for them to like die down.
Yeah.
That's the only part he likes. He likes the part where everyone's clapping. He's just
Sure.
awkwardly standing there, and then once that dies down, he's satiated. That's all he needs.
But
and then he's like, let's start the show.
That's what I mean. He's very unselfish. He's a billionaire. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I would get someone to write me jokes so I
Yeah.
could tell the jokes and get something out of
It's
it.
unselfish. I mean, that's one way to spin it.
Why not tell?
Or it's the kind of megalomania where clapping alone does it for you.
It's wild.
Indiscriminate clapping. We'll go with unselfish because my show hasn't come out yet. But anyway, you're already bad at plugging. We're trying to plug your thing. And
Sorry.
It was my fault. I brought
Buttoned
Dry
Up
Bar.
and Unhinged. I almost forgot the name. Buttoned Up and Unhinged on Dry Bar Comedy. Go to my website, turnersparks.com.
I did Dry Bar too.
It's
Waiting
right
to come
there.
out. I assume if it's anything like my schedule, you did it about 12 years ago.
I did it 2025 February.
Crazy. The backlog is insane. I did one like 2 years ago. It still hasn't come out.
No way?
Yeah, but but it's
Are you sure? Because mine was last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not 2 years ago. Last year. I don't know. I'm exaggerating.
Okay,
You know what I mean? I'm
okay.
doing the comedic.
I see.
You're right, though. It wasn't enough.
I'm just concerned about your career.
Yeah. I should have said 20 years.
I can make a call.
Yeah. You got that Dry Bar Connect. Yeah. Turner Sparks on the line. Well, Dry Bar is fun too, and check him out. And it's not a persona that he is buttoned up. It's about 112 degrees outside today, and he is buttoned up. So this isn't an act.
No. This is my life.
This is. I don't know about the unhinged part, but I knew. I think the fact that you're buttoned up in 110 degree. 110. We'll edit that out. 110 degree weather is the unhinged part too.
There we go. We got to it. We landed it.
Had a little stroke there, but that's fine. It's when you have a stroke and people know where you're going with it.
And everyone's like, yeah.
It's like we talk to someone with a stutter and it's obvious what they're saying.
Wake me up when this stroke gets over.
Like if you have a stutter and you're saying a sentence where we know where it's going, you should just be like, you get it. You know what I mean?
You can skip it.
Yeah. Only do the sentences where we really don't know.
You need one of those, like, on Netflix, there's like a fast forward 15 seconds button.
Yeah, exactly.
You need one of those for human
Because if you're
beings.
like, hey, it's great to be, and then you start stuttering right before here, we know it's coming.
What about those comics who will stutter? They do have a stutter, but they also stutter in the act.
Yeah.
But then they stutter at the same time. Because
it's like planned stuttered.
The punchline needs to come after the stutter. Sometimes.
Right. So that's an interesting point.
You know?
You're kind of saying all stutter comics are frauds, is what you're saying.
There's one guy. There's one guy who's not. I forget his name, but he.
Well, there's that really funny guy who I used to know from New York. I forget his name. He's very funny.
Is it Drew Lynch?
Not Drew Lynch. He's the most famous stutter guy.
But what I like about he like went to stutter class,
school,
whatever you want to call about it.
and
got rid of the stutter in real life, and then 99 comedians out of 100 wouldn't do this. He got rid of it in his act.
He got rid of his act?
Yeah. He was like, I don't have the stutter anymore. I'm not going to be the stutter act guy.
Wow.
I'm like, that guy, put him in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, I guess if I was watching a comedian and they said they're not going to have a stutter, I'd be like, that's an upgrade. Am I wrong to think that?
Yeah, but if I was the comedian and my rhythm of comedy was the stutter,
Right.
I would not get rid of it. I'd pretend like I still had it.
We're like, we can't watch this. We're so used to waiting about 10 minutes and already guessing the joke. Anyway, I have a list for stutter and list community where, like, rollerblading and
ice skating
or whatever the what's the thing?
Roller hockey?
No, skateboarding.
Skateboarding?
Right? No, bicycling. What is rollerblading an enemy to?
An enemy.
Skateboarding?
Yeah, I don't think skateboarders and rollerbladers get along.
Yeah, improv, stand-up, lisp, stutter.
Oh, you guys are enemies.
Yeah, the stutter community and the lisp community, we don't get along.
Okay. Stand different sides of the track.
Yeah. So we're here to talk about, I'm glad you brought this movie up because I haven't seen it in years and I love it. We're here to talk about Adaptation. Charlie Kaufman, Spike Jonze, Nicolas Cage. It is a movie that I always really loved and then hadn't seen for years. And I kind of got to a place where I forgot a lot of the jokes. So watching it again, I was like dying.
So good.
It's so good.
So I was actually nervous because I told you asked me to send you my favorite movie. I send you that one. And then immediately I was like, oh man, I remember the second it ended saying this is my favorite movie of all time. First watch.
Oh wow.
And then but then I haven't seen it in a long time.
Right.
So I rewatched it last night.
You never know if it holds up, right?
To make sure.
You're like, oh, Revenge of the Nerds is great. Then you watch it again. It's a bunch of people raping a girl. And stuff like that. You're like, I don't remember. This seemed a lot funnier back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Times are simpler.
Yeah.
So anyway, I rewatched it last night. It's still good.
It's great.
Go ahead.
Well, no, you go.
The parallels to what we do. So basically, it's the creative process in a film.
Yeah.
As Charlie Kaufman's trying to adapt this book about flowers into a dramatic film, but there's nothing dramatic happening in the book.
Which, by the way, when I saw it, for years, I just assumed it's presented like he was hired to actually write that movie. For some reason, I'm so wrong about this. I assumed he was just reading that book and he thought it'd be a funny idea to do a meta thing, he wasn't actually hired to do that.
You mean in real life?
In real life.
Yeah.
In my head, I didn't think anyone actually was going to try to adapt this book because it seems so...
But he was.
He was.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, which is the whole I was going to say
The
conceit.
struggle of
I
it
said
all.
conceit the other day, and my wife thought I was the most pretentious person in the world.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, but like, is that such a highfalutin word?
I don't think so.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I mean,
anyway,
I went to private
fuck my
school,
wife.
but-
No, anyway, she
think
was
it
like,
was fine.
She acted like a complete
That's the
douchebag.
conceit of the film.
The conceit of the film. That's right.
What are you supposed to say?
I guess she thought premise was layman terms.
Cool
and
part?
conceit- Yeah, the cool part. Got to dumb it down for her. But so I'm kidding. She's very smart. But so I guess in my head I wrongly thought he kind of made up the meta concept. But actually, he was hired to adapt.
Yes.
I guess in my head, I was like, why were they asking Charlie Kaufman to adapt that book? I thought he just kind of lied about that.
And it was on the heels. He just done Being John Malkovich because they
Right.
show Being John Malkovich
Right.
in the movie, like the set.
And I guess it wasn't. I don't know the chronology, but I guess Being John Malkovich hadn't come out yet. Maybe. I mean, according to the movie,
Seemingly, because he's like one of those. He's basically on the set. They show him on the set of Being John Malkovich, but he's the writer of Being John Malkovich. So they make it seem like the actors on the set don't even know who he is.
And he's not. He has none of the. He has none of the accolades yet.
He's like no
the movie
cachet.
the movie hasn't come out.
He's just some guy who's in the way.
Because otherwise, I feel like when Robert McKee's yelling at him, he could just be like, I'm Charlie Kaufman.
I know, right?
But
Do you know who I am?
But so yeah, he actually was hired to adapt this, and he had a bit of a breakdown, and turned this in instead as a deadline. And Spike Jonze read it and thought it was great, and they made the movie. And I think one of the craziest things watching it is imagining what it was like for the writer of the book to watch that in theaters.
I was thinking of it the whole time.
Yeah.
Because he turns the author of this book about flowers into this horrible character.
And he's jacking off to her in one moment.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine you write this book and
Yes.
they adapt it, and you're in there watching this movie about your life, and it's just a screenwriter jacking off to the book jacket of you, and then you cheating on your.
And then they have to be like, no, trust me. It's going to be, people are going to like this.
Well, apparently she did not like it at first. She got the script and she was
I
like
would
horrified,
imagine.
which makes sense.
She's doing lines of whatever
Flowers
from the swamp of
This
Florida.
is like a New Yorker writing about flowers woman.
She's
you know?
just some lady.
Yeah, right. And she read the script. She's like, "What the fuck is this?" But they actually need to get her to sign off on her name.
Yeah,
that's
of course.
Same thing with Being John Malkovich. He's always like dependent on someone really signing off on their name.
What about Robert McKee?
And Robert McKee, right? And so they eventually convinced her because everyone else jumped on board. And then she saw it. I think she was horrified, but then years later she realized it was great. And the brilliant thing about the movie is that it does capture a lot of what's great in the book. That's what's so cool. Like, you do get to see.
Did you read the book?
I've never read the book, but you do get to see. I guess that's kind of a bullshit statement.
Oh, okay.
I've
But you're
never read
saying, like,
really
the-
capture the book.
the
I didn't.
narration.
But I'm just like, they read out the lines, and you get the sense of the story, and there's so many sentences from the book.
Yeah.
That it actually kind of captures at least her poetic style.
Yes.
Like, I can watch that movie and think, oh, she's a good writer.
Yeah.
That's not true for a lot of adaptations where
Yeah,
you're like,
true. It's just lost.
so in a way, even though it's this meta postmodern adaptation, it makes you like the book in many ways, in a way that you don't with other adaptations.
So can I tell you something? Back when the first time I saw it, I was so obsessed. I bought the book.
Oh, yeah?
And then I started reading the book. I still have it. I
Yeah?
just got it out of my closet.
You didn't finish it?
Last night. I never finished it.
Yeah.
It is exactly what he says.
Yeah.
Where he's like, it's this sprawling. He's like, how am I supposed to turn this into a
Yeah,
movie?
yeah.
It's this sprawling New Yorker bullshit.
Well, that's
It
why
doesn't lead anywhere.
That's why I thought it was a lie that he got hired to adapt it.
And so because why would you?
Why would they ask him to? Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. But everything he's going through, do you find that everything he's going through in like the creative process of trying to turn this in, all the self-doubt, all of the like, what am I even, like, who he basically decomposes as a human being, trying to create art.
Yes.
Meanwhile, his twin brother who lives on his couch because he can't find a job, just decides like, you're a screenwriter. I don't know what to do with my life. I'll just be that.
Yeah.
And then becomes a hack.
Yeah.
And then becomes kind of successful as a hack at doing what this pure artist wants to do.
Yes.
All I could think of is stand-up the entire time I'm watching this. And I'm like, I relate to so much of this.
For sure. I mean, it's such a relatable thing because you're watching someone like paralyzed by his intellect and paralyzed and narcissistic in a way where he can't like think outside himself.
Yeah.
And so his intellect, which sometimes allows for creativity, can also block creativity.
Yes.
And and then you have his identical twin brother who's the opposite of him in every way. It's an interesting thing to watch, especially as a comedian, to see, because like this is a guy who, and this is what I love so much about the movie, is that I really like Spike Jonze a lot. I mean, I really like Charlie Kaufman a lot. I feel like his later movies, they stop being as funny, and I think the humor is so important in his movies, because that character is such a despairing guy that the humor of making fun of him in the world contrasts so nicely.
Yeah.
But then when you watch some of his movies he made on his own, like Synecdoche, New York, or even Eternal Sunshine, which is a different director, a lot of the humor's gone, and it's more like a movie made by that character who's just like, you know what I mean?
I don't even know if I watched Schenectady, New York, I think was my last. That came after. Did it come after?
Yeah.
Sunshine? Okay, that was the last one. I was out after that.
It's not.
I was like, I can't. I don't
It's
even
not
know if
terrible,
I made it
but
all
it
the way
just
through.
doesn't have that humor that makes the humor, the despair and the humor that's so intermingled in Being John Malkovich and Adaptation is such a magical thing to watch.
Yeah.
And when he takes out the humor in his later stuff, it becomes very self-indulgent and despairing, and all the self-pity he's making fun of before actually becomes a movie.
And then, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, the humor really is so important to make these stories work, kind of.
Yeah, and his twin brother adds that as just this kind of doofus.
It's fucking
but
hilarious.
like light on his feet.
Yeah.
Nothing in the world really bothers him.
I mean, yeah,
He goes. They go to a Hollywood party, and he's like talking to everybody.
Yeah.
And he's totally comfortable.
He's the exact opposite.
But he has no actual like. There's
internal
no there
thought.
there.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
There's no internal. It's just pure instinct.
Yeah. It's all instinct.
Well, I mean, it's interesting to parallel it with Meryl Streep and LaRoche.
Sure.
LaRoche is essentially in a weird way. I mean, they're different, but in a weird way, it's two different romance stories, right?
Yes.
In a weird way, where LaRoche is kind of all instinct, and Meryl Streep is the writer who's kind of like internal. And then he has his twin brother who's all instinct.
Yeah.
The difference is LaRoche is like a genius, and his twin brother.
I was gonna say LaRoche has an actual way of earning a living.
Yeah, and his twin brother is a moron.
It's deceitful, but he has.
But
a
it's a similar setup where it's someone paralyzed by their intellect and someone who lives off instinct.
Yeah.
And the person paralyzed by their intellect, in the LaRoche story, she's enamored by it.
Yes.
In his story, he's very annoyed by it.
Yes.
Though what's interesting is, by the end, at least on some level, she actually finds herself a little bored by the LaRoche character before the final ending.
When they're in the swamp, and she realizes that when they're like lost in the swamp, and he's trying to make the sundial, and you can see the look in her eyes. She's like, "Oh, this isn't at all what I thought this was gonna be. I'm now just lost in the swamp with a crazy person.
With a narcissistic person."
And
his passion,
Yeah.
which seems so amazing. You want to be around someone so passionate. But at the same time, when you see it up close, you're like, oh, this is just a guy who's just all talking about himself all day long, who maybe isn't, who is brilliant, but also won't admit when he's lost and shit like that.
Yep.
And so she sours on him.
Yeah.
But then the other version, Nicolas Cage, realizes there's wisdom in his brother.
Yeah.
And so you have these kind of these similar stories that have a reverse kind of ending. So it's interesting the way they're paralleled, I thought. You know what I mean? I mean, one's obviously a moron, one's a genius, but they're both instinct and action versus the writer, who's like kind of like caught in her own world and their own world and can't really move forward.
Sure.
So it's cool to kind of like see those mirror,
And then there's depth with the LaRoche side. I think she thinks there's depth to his life that doesn't exist in her kind of New York City cocktail party, dinner party.
Yes.
Like what's the word for them? They're a cynical, like a cynical community of like intellectual.
There's a primitive kind of like she's like chained up in her annoying bourgeois New Yorker life.
Yes,
and there's something like primitive and exotic, but interestingly enough, it is like she does realize at a certain point that there isn't as much to it as she thought. When they're walking the wood, there isn't as much, or like. It's fun for a while, but it's not someone you can grow old with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've been there. I mean, I have specifically been in that situation where I'm in love with someone and we've gone on like an adventure.
Yes.
Where I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be here. This is too crazy.
100%.
And I'm like, I need to be with a neurotic person. And so I like that swamp moment is so relatable.
It's the vacations that break up the relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't be married to a vacation.
All of a sudden, like you're in Hawaii or somewhere, and you're like, "Oh, we don't belong together."
Yeah, right.
But this trip has like 6 days left.
Exactly.
What are we gonna do now?
That walk in the swamp is so relatable on the person you love that maybe doesn't love you back, and then you realize that what you think there's so much to them, and then you realize you've just been looking at a reflection of your own desires.
You know, I don't drink anymore.
Me neither.
But you don't?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I did,
they forced you to be sober to become a clean corporate comic?
They did.
With that dry bar
No.
rules?
These are country clubs. They're like, you want more? You sure you don't want drinks? We got come on, highballs, whatever you want.
Yeah.
We got it. Are you sure? They're like pushing it. They so no, but you had drinking friends that you realize, obviously platonic friends, that once you stop drinking, you're like, oh, there was not their fault, but they're just we were 3 a.m. We thought we were best friends.
It's the same thing. Drugs and sex are the same thing. They'll make you hang out with people you wouldn't normally like, you know?
Yeah, and then when you sober up, like whenever it becomes, you're like, oh, wait, I don't see that person
Exactly.
anymore.
Sex and cocaine has made me convince myself I'm talking to someone way more interesting than they are. Those are the two things and they make me hang out with that person for way too long. So so there's that kind of like.
There's a bit of comedy in there too.
Yeah.
After a show. Mm-hmm. We're the guilty party here. When you ever like an audience member starts talking to you, and all of a sudden you're not as funny as you just were.
You're off.
And they're like, why isn't there a punchline every 15 seconds like there just was?
Well, that's always awful too,
and
because
you're like, oh no, that was
the thing about it that sucks about being a comedian is like in real life, oftentimes you're off, and then the not funny people around you, like who meet you, they think, oh, you're a comedian, I should be on. So they're being on and not funny. So the one who is funny is not being funny, and the one who's not funny is trying to be funny. It's brutal. They're on and should be off. You're off, but probably should be on.
It's all
chaos. Yeah. So I mean, there's just the movie is so like poignant and funny and deep and meta in a way that's not annoying.
It's not annoying.
And
no.
I will say on a personal level, I watched Backrooms last night. Have you seen Backrooms?
No.
So Backrooms is the big new horror movie.
Okay.
Made by a 20-year-old.
Okay.
It's A24 made more money than any A24 movie.
Wow. Okay.
And that came out as the other movie, Obsession, Curry Barker. They're both kind of YouTube guys.
Okay.
Obsession I like quite a bit. I saw Backrooms, and I hated it in a way that was actually like upsetting.
Okay.
Like, because I felt like it didn't really have any real story or characters, and it had no humor, and the characters just seemed like ChatGPT characterizations. And it was actually a horrible experience because there's all these kids at the movie.
You were at the theater.
Yeah, and they were walking out and back in and out and back in.
Oh, no.
But I kind of understood why. Like, the movie doesn't ask you to be engaged. So they're like, well, whatever. We'll just walk in and out. You know?
Sure.
I saw someone come like 45 minutes late. But it's like we live in this culture now where like we don't expect good characters or logic to a movie. We just want vibes.
Yeah.
So after watching that, I felt so miserable because it's like movies that the characters, I mean, it's great actors, but the characters just have nothing there.
Yeah.
And then I turn on Adaptation.
Yes.
It is funny in the first line. Like the first line.
When he's just talking to himself.
Just talking to himself. I'm like, this is greater than every single 2 hours of Backrooms.
He opens like, I'm a loser. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm like,
I can't write.
Right. Humanity.
I have no ability.
And Backrooms felt like some AI shit. And so it was so nice to go back to this like humanity of like just a funny character again, you know?
Meanwhile, he's like, at that point, he's such an accomplished writer. He's written on all these TV shows before that.
Sure,
And he wrote on the Dana Carvey show.
Yeah.
He wrote on all these comedies, all these things, and he's still like, I'm a loser. I have nothing.
Well,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Beating the comic after the show. Just a complete loser. And Nicolas Cage is so brilliant in
he's
the part.
So great.
Because it's like, it's hard to explain why it could have not worked. There's like a weird, it's like both real and not real. And that makes it like enjoyable in a way where it's like not too pathetic. Like he's a pathetic character, but because it's an actor in a fat suit, you don't get too like, what do you call it? bummed out by it.
Yeah.
It has like a nice charm.
Yeah.
Like, and Nicolas Cage is perfect in that role.
He's
you know?
also not like morbidly obese.
Right,
He
right,
calls
right,
himself
right.
fat the whole time, but really, most people look kind
I
of.
mean, I'd love to look like him.
Yeah, he's not that fat.
He's 90s fat, as they
He's
call
just
it.
in his
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
Like everything's wrong.
But it's like, and I like a realistic depiction of a pathetic guy. I love Sideways, you know?
Yeah.
Sideways, you know, when you see Paul Giamatti, you feel like that's how he probably is in real life.
Yeah.
I like a pathetic guy, but there's something about Nicolas Cage where it's both like, it's like this weird mix of Sideways and something kind of like weirdly absurd with the twin brother that it's just great. It's so funny right away. Just all the self-deprecating thoughts right away. I'm just laughing. And it has some of the funniest, like, one of the moments that I like just died laughing, I totally forgot about. I like write screenplays and I'll send them to like agents and they'll give horrible notes.
Yes.
Because they're not creative and they think they are. And there's this part in the middle that might be the greatest scene ever where you see him having this existential struggle where he's writing and he can't figure it out. And then he goes to his agent. He's in the chair being like, I can't figure it out. I shouldn't have done this. And the agent is just, it cuts to the agent. He just sees a woman walking by and he goes, you see that woman? I fucked her in the ass. And then he goes, I'm just kidding. And then the punchline, it's just, you think that's the punchline. Even better punchline. He goes, maybe I can help.
Yeah, that's when he goes.
Maybe
he's like,
I
don't know how
can
to
help.
write this. He goes, maybe I can help.
Just presenting himself as the most shallow person ever and then
Yes.
just being like, well, maybe I can help
He's
is the
also-
ultimate perfect joke for like agents.
He's also like clearly younger.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
playing
yeah.
like a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
He's like an older actor.
Ron
He's-
Livingston,
Yeah,
yeah.
Ron Livingston's playing like a young up and coming.
It's amazing.
Agent.
It's like every agent is just like the most shallow person, but yet
Yeah.
they have to, somehow they're the one who's supposed to give you creative advice.
It's yeah.
I fucked her in the ass.
What did
Anyway, maybe I can help.
It's so great. I did too. I laughed so hard. I'm like,
Except for
this-
my agent, he's
I'm like,
great.
Ron Livingston might be the best.
It's
This
so
might be the
funny.
best character in this
I mean,
film.
there's so many funny lines. McKee's a genius and hilarious. He tells these jokes and everybody laughs.
What about when he goes? So it's just so brilliant when he actually humbles himself so much to go sit and watch a Robert McKee.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's like really like going to like a comedy class.
Yeah.
Like as a professional comedian.
Yeah.
And he sits there and he listens, and then after he does, the film changes.
The film changes.
The film
adapts.
It
one can say.
immediately becomes the voiceover stops right away.
Yep.
And then it
it
becomes an action movie.
He takes all the it becomes
There's
that kind
drugs,
of Hollywood. Yeah.
There's like sex. There's cheating.
Well, it becomes the things he says in the beginning, right? Like, I don't want to have it, drugs or card chases.
Everything he doesn't want in the beginning
becomes that.
Yeah, it's just brilliant.
But at the same time, one could say there's a question: does it Robert McKee? So is he listening to McKee, or is he really listening to like just being a hack? Because McKee
don't
doesn't
know.
necessarily say do all that. He does say change and stuff.
Well,
It's more like he actually becomes more like his brother's writing.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because well, also there's the great scene where Ron Livingston now wants to buy his brother's script.
Right,
Or, like,
right. It's
sell it, help him
amazing.
sell it. He's like, your brother's a great writer. It's a total hack.
But yeah, because it is like McKee does. Well, okay, so McKee thinks characters should change. That's his big thing.
Which
And
he does.
Which he does. So he
the
does
very
adopt
end.
that.
Yeah.
And his whole the Charlie Kaufman thing is characters don't change, right?
Yes.
So how do you make a movie when characters don't change in real life? And then that great speech Brian Cox gives us, Robert McKee,
Yeah.
which is actually just a good point. Like the whole like so much change do happen.
Yes. Oh, when he's like, every day there's things
Yeah.
in the world. There's babies being born. There's
And
people dying.
What I love so much about this movie is that even though like the Charlie Kaufman character is caught up in his own like bubble, the movie is not purely in his head. And by which I mean you don't see the writer's hand in the way everyone else is talking. There's a lot of movies where you can see the writer just thinks he's right and everyone else is wrong, and it's reflected in the dialogue. When Robert McKee gives that speech and he's yelling at Nicolas Cage, this isn't a moment where Charlie Kaufman is making fun of Robert McKee. It's
Yeah.
actually a moment where Robert McKee is yelling at Charlie
He's
Kaufman.
making a good point.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I love about the movie. It's not caught up. There are a lot of movies I hate where like you can tell the writer just thinks everyone else is wrong. And this is the problem with meta shit or alter ego shit. You start writing in a way where every character is written without the complexity you give yourself, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Got it.
But in this,
Yes.
he shows so many different characters. He shows the wisdom of Donald. He shows the
Donald's such a good
yeah.
character.
He shows like the way he's annoying and the way he's right. So it is like it's both caught up in his world while also having a nice objectivity to the characters. And I really love that about it. You know?
Do you ever? So there's I'm sorry I keep bringing this back to
No.
stand up, but there's just so many parallels.
Of course, yeah.
There's stand-ups who do that as well, and you kind of see it like earlier in your scenes, like when you're starting out and wherever you started out. Comedians who are always right in the punchline.
Right.
Like the person they're talking to is the idiot.
Right, every time.
But and I remember having a conversation with somebody early on, and there were like a bunch of us in a conversation, like comics that we all started together. And one of them said to a guy, he was like, "Hey, you can't be right in every single punchline."
Exactly. No, there are certain times I'll like it. There's a comic who I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, they're great, but there's something I just don't like about them. I don't know what it is. And eventually I'll realize, oh, they don't make fun of themselves. And they're like, oh, that's what it is.
Everyone else is stupid.
Right.
Except for me or except for us.
Right.
As people watching me.
But then you can also go the other way where you make way too much fun of yourself. It's a balance. And I think this movie kind of has a nice balance.
It's a fantastic balance.
You know, it makes fun of him. It makes fun of Donald. It makes fun of everyone. And it makes fun of John LaRoche.
It makes fun of McKee.
It makes fun of McKee.
Yeah.
So it has a great even-handedness. And I'm just so impressed because usually movies where there's an alter ego of a character.
Yeah.
It's not, you tend to find that he, the other characters don't have the kind of, they're kind of there just to be mocked. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so it's just brilliant in that way.
Why do you? So you know more about movies than I do by like 1,000 times.
Well,
They didn't really win much, did it? In terms of awards and everything?
No, I think it won. I think it got nominated for screenplay. He's the only, I believe, fictional character to ever be nominated.
Okay.
Because Donald Kaufman got nominated too.
Screenplay?
They're both in there credited.
No way.
As part of the
are
joke.
they?
But it's like real. They're both. I mean, it's not
So
real.
in
But
that- okay, so that brings up a question that I was kind of thinking as I was rewatching it last night. Do you think they're kind of two sides of Kaufman?
I thought about that. Yeah, I think so.
I don't mean that that's who they actually are in the film. I mean, those are clearly two separate people in the film, right?
No, I know what you're saying. I think there's definitely truth to that. I think there's the side of him that's like paralyzed by thought, and the side that is like has action.
Yeah.
Right? The actually acts, you know?
Yeah.
I think that there's some truth to that. I mean, it definitely feels that way at times,
Well,
right?
and if they both got nominated, then it gives more credence to what you were saying that he incorporated Donald's ideas in the second half of the film.
Right.
as
Or
opposed to
it's
McKee.
within him.
Yeah.
The desire to change, to adapt
Yeah.
is also within him as much as the desire to like maintain purity while yelling about how no one changes, you know?
Yes.
But it is a movie about change, adaptation.
Clearly.
Right? It's about having to change and having to change in a way that doesn't feel like you're a hack, right? That's like it's an honest way. This movie kind of makes fun of that while also changing. It kind of has its cake and eats it too, which is what I love about it. Like at the end, it cynically does the Hollywood stuff, but then they
tell you they're going to do that.
They tell you
though.
they're going to do it.
They're like, here's what's coming in half an hour.
But there's also
Wow him in the end.
exactly
Is the line
why
from
them at
McKee.
the end.
Yeah.
But it's not only that. Like the moment between him and his brother is very beautiful.
Yeah.
And if the movie was only the cynicism of the just doing the Hollywood thing, it wouldn't be effective. It's because while it's also making fun of change, there is real change.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, what really affects it. I mean, the speech he gives his brother, where his brother says, "You are who you love, not
who loves you,"
is a beautiful line.
Sure.
And the fact that he was aware that those girls were making fun of him
in high school, right?
and and that's something I find like I relate obviously a lot to the narcissistic, neurotic guy. But when you're like that, you can often overlook other people. When you're so judgmental and you think you know everything and you just hate, you can really overlook that people are maybe smarter than you think.
Yeah.
So that moment of him realizing his brother really has some wisdom to offer is like a very powerful moment, you know?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I loved it.
Yeah, the one thing I think kind of like it doesn't fully, I still love the movie, so this is a complaint that's just, I wish the stuff with the other girl, there was a little more to it. Because at the end,
girlfriend-ish girl?
Because at the end when he says, "I love you," I don't know if they're saying he actually loves her, or he's just trying out the idea of loving
Like
someone.
he's trying to change as a person.
Yeah, because like you just don't know much about the relationship is such a small part of the movie.
Well, I wish that. So she says, "I love you. I've always loved you."
Yeah,
I kind of wish she didn't give him that,
I know.
and then he was still okay. Like you can see on his face,
right, like
almost
he just wanted to make the move and do it.
Yeah, and then he's kind of satisfied with himself that all right, I did it.
I think this is where maybe the one element of the narcissism of his writer kind of seeps in, where he just has this woman who there's no reason why she would like him.
Yeah,
But she does happen to love him.
Yeah.
That's the one part of the movie where I think a character.
you're right.
And this is not just Charlie Kaufman, this is anyone. Our narcissism can really paralyze us from writing, or it can write characters in a way that they're just there to serve us. I think she's just there to serve him in a way. So when she says "I love you too," it doesn't feel earned at any level because you don't really know anything about her.
We didn't really get to know her that much.
So I guess I know it's like. I know, you can't have everything in a movie, but I guess there's a part of me that wishes maybe she was a little more, they had a little more development there, so that part felt earned at the end. Because that's the one part where he's like, "I love you," and she's like, "I love you too." I'm like, wait, do they?
Yeah,
do
why?
either of them?
Since when?
When did he love her?
As
When
far
did
as
she
we know,
love
they
her?
went on like a couple dates.
Yeah.
And it didn't really work out.
Right, and there's something about those dates, too, that also feels written from, like, a man's perspective where it's like, she would be cool with him kissing her. He's just afraid. There's something about that.
Yeah, she invites him up, and he says no.
There's something about that where it's like I don't know. I feel like it's like that. It's like Charlie Kaufman thinking about all the times he could have made a move, and he probably. But in reality, she probably wouldn't have kissed him back.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, that reminds me of what the one false part in the film that I thought felt false, and it's when they're sitting in front of her house in the car.
Yeah.
And she invites him up, and he's like. She kind of invites him up. She's like, what are you doing after this?
I agree with you, by the way. Yeah.
And he goes, oh, no, I got to go home and write. I would love to hang out. And then he goes, but do you want to hang out with me this weekend? And
exactly.
She goes, no.
So,
why would I ever
exactly.
hang out with you? And I'm like, that wouldn't happen in real life.
She would be like, sure.
If she was really into you, she'd be like, oh, yeah, I could probably do this weekend.
And the reason I think it rings untrue is that she is there to serve the writer here. She's basically there to say, you missed your chance, and that's it. You had your one chance, and now it's over. But that's not how people think.
That's not.
If she really likes him.
Yeah, she'd be like, yeah, I can probably do this
But
weekend.
she's just there to be his voice.
Yeah.
Like, that's how the writer would imagine her to be like.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how, like, because there is some Arrested Development in Charlie Kaufman a little.
Yeah.
Where you get the sense that, like, there's his interest in women is a little, like, it's this unrequited kind of fantasy kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've been there too.
Yeah.
But when you look back on those relationships, you always think, oh man, if only I made a move, but I missed my shot. But you probably didn't have a shot.
Yeah. Or else there would have been more opportunities in the future to make the move.
And if you had a shot, she'd probably try.
Yeah.
In fact, it might not have had anything
like
to do with you.
she has a shot
yeah.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
She can also make the move.
Like when I've had a shot, it's because they really wanted to hook
They
up
were
with
into
me.
you.
Yeah,
same.
And when I didn't have a shot, I never had a shot.
Yeah.
So that's the one part of the movie where it's like, oh no. He's kind of like she's there to serve his journey.
Yeah. And then what do you think?
Other than that, it's great.
Agreed. Does it matter that we don't know what happened to Susan, the author, in the end? We just assume she went to prison?
Oh, yeah.
Or does it not matter?
Yeah, I mean, I think she
is kind of a main character. I mean, she's a main character, for sure, in the film.
Well, it's also, okay, so I have two faults with the movie, as much as I love it. And this goes to the second fault. Even though the whole action sequence ending is clever, you are kind of being like, well, no, this isn't real.
Yeah. You know it's not real because they tell you it's not real.
So there is, the problem with that is there is some disengagement at the end where you're kind of like, you kind of start looking at your clock. It's almost like they didn't fully know how to wrap it up because it's like, yeah, it's a clever idea, the whole action thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you believe those characters before. They were real people. So now that they're not, you're just kind of looking at your watch like,
now
all right,
you know it's
wrap
in his
it up.
head because Robert McKee told him 15 minutes earlier.
Which is like, that's the one part where you're like, all right, it's clever, but you're like, and maybe there's no other way to end it. I don't think there's a solution to this. I think the movie's such a cool concept. It kind of maybe got into a place where it's like, well, how do you end it?
Yeah.
And then they kind of had to do this, but you are kind of, that whole alligator sequence, you are kind of like.
Yeah, he's not getting eaten by an alligator.
Yeah.
But I think if you stay tethered to the idea that we're still on his creative journey as a writer, it doesn't actually matter that that's not real.
So it still works after that.
Because in my head, I'm still, as I'm watching this like action scene, I'm still thinking of him at his typewriter banging out the scene.
Maybe.
Because then also at the very end, it goes, all right, now I know who it ends. You get back to the typewriter. You get back to the writing.
Maybe.
At least for me personally.
No, I think that's correct. But to me, it does become a little bit of a, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But then you still have to watch
it.
You have to watch it unfold. Like, it's just kind of one idea.
Yeah.
I mean, except for the scene between him and his brother, which is amazing.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, other than that, like, the whole drug, the, like, kidnap, all that, you're kind of like, oh, I get it. He's just kind of making an action movie.
Yeah.
The problem is that you still have to keep watching it.
It's like 20 more minutes.
Yeah. So I do think maybe it goes on too long, or maybe they could have intercut it with him writing.
Yeah.
Just to go remind you about that journey or something.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's still one of the best movies ever.
It's great. It's fantastic.
It really is, and it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so fucking funny.
How it sticks to like that process of going from this super not narcissistic, maybe narcissistic, but definitely like
solipsistic.
This artist who's just like tied to his own personal I don't know. I'm
Can't
words.
Can't change.
Stubborn. And then all of a sudden
yeah.
he's like, screw it, let's make
because he's stuck.
Make a hit.
He's stuck in his own purity, and like people can't change.
When you were writing like stand up, I don't know how many hours or whatever you've put out, but remember there's a point early on when you know what, at least this happened to me. I knew what good comedy was supposed to be, and I just knew I didn't know how to write it or do it. And it's so frustrating. And then there's also people, I don't know, I had points where I'm like, my first hour of comedy is really just a collection of jokes that work.
Yeah.
As opposed to my artistic expression.
Yeah, for sure. You're just trying. The first thing you have to learn is how to crush on stage.
Yeah.
Once you learn that, then you can decide which jokes you want to crush with.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't know. There's different ways to do it. But to me, I've always felt you got to learn how to crush first.
Agreed.
Because if you don't learn how to crush first, how can you make the decision which jokes to you? Like, to me, it's like you want to know what crushing feels like, and then be like, okay, that, because people can crush by being hacks.
Yes.
But if you can't even crush, like, there's almost there's four types of, there's four rankings of comics. There's a comic with great material that crushes.
Yeah.
A comic with, right below that, or maybe even, like, right below that is a comic with bad material that crushes.
Yes.
And they're probably slightly even with a comic with good material that doesn't do well.
Yep.
I think the comic with good material that doesn't do well is maybe a little above it, but not that much. And then below is comic with bad material that does bad.
Yeah.
So to me, you have to be a comic with good material with bad material that crushes before you can become a comic with good
But what they
material
don't tell you is there's a step down. There's a, like, bad material that crushes is, I got to that. And then I had to learn how to write good material that didn't do so well before I could get back up.
Exactly.
So I was doing worse on stage to try to get better.
Yes, and that's part of it. But if you didn't have if you didn't know how to crush, you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know what.
You wouldn't have a frame of reference. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you need that frame of reference.
I guess my point is Kaufman's going. He's not like he was obviously great already, but he's like hitting his head against the wall. To write what he knows is better. Meanwhile, Donald is just sailing through hack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I've been both of those people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he says that at one point. He goes, sometimes you make a mistake, write something bad, but that's the risk you take to write something new.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And there is truth to that. But yeah, I do personally think if you don't know what it sounds like for the whole room laughing.
Agreed.
Like, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like.
But I remember knowing in my head, even like after that first hour, I'm like, half this stuff I liked it when I was writing it, I guess. But a year later, you're still, as you're funneling out those jokes and writing the new stuff, there's still a few I'm still doing.
Right,
Not
of
now,
course,
but back then. And I remember being on stage being like, I don't even like this stuff. I get that it works, but I want to be.
Well, right. Well, I always look at it as like a comedian has like, okay, there's the desire to entertain and the desire for self-expression, which could also represent Donald and Charlie. Like Charlie's all about self-expression. Donald's all about entertainment.
He wants to make a horror movie.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
But if you go too much in the entertaining way, you're a hack.
Yeah.
If you go too much in the self-expression way, you're self-indulgent and pretentious.
Yep.
To be a good comic, you almost have to find a balance between entertaining and self-expression.
Yeah.
And that's what he finds at the end. He like tries to entertain while also expressing something about himself. And so that is, I do think, the key of a comedian. Like, if you're not entertaining at all, it's pretentious. If you're only entertaining and not thinking about yourself, you're not doing anything new. Now, the scary part about comedy, which I've just had to accept, is that if I crush with great jokes, and then I see another comic who crushes just as well with jokes I consider hack.
Yep.
The hard part of comedy is for me to accept the fact that that's actually just my opinion.
Yeah, totally. I
the
know.
difference between me and him is really not. It's just
Or her.
purely or her. Well, let's be honest. No, I'm kidding. I don't think women are hacks. That's what I meant. The difference between me, her, it, them, they, is that like, and I don't know. Maybe it's objective that they're hacky on some way. Like maybe I could say, well, if other comics think they're hacks and they don't think I'm a hack, maybe there's some consensus about what's original. But overall, to an audience member, there's no difference.
Yeah, then it just goes back to like building your audience. You're gonna build an audience that likes the style you do.
Yeah,
they're gonna build an audience that likes the style they do.
Right,
that's fine.
and that's the subjectivity.
Not
part
all
of it,
movies are for the same people.
Exactly.
You know, the Backstreet Boys exist. So does whoever Zeppelin.
But then there's that other part of you, the Charlie Kaufman part's like, no, there's a right way, right?
Yeah, I know.
Both those sides, but I mean, like, yeah, I mean that's a tough thing. I mean, to me, I think the challenge of being a comedian: can you crush with unique stuff? To me, that's the job.
Of course. Well, that's why you do it. That's why I do it.
Yeah, but the job really is to just crush.
I know, but
And
to
we have
sleep at
different
night,
jobs.
I need to be
Right.
able to
But that's not.
personally.
But
I
you're
need to-
fulfilling your job either way.
I need to write something that no one's ever thought of. That's like,
Right,
you know,
right.
unique perspective.
But I guess
But
the point is,
not everyone needs that.
and the point is, I can't complain if I'm at a club. Let's say I work the cellar, just for example.
Sure.
And some comic I hate gets more spots than me.
Yeah.
But if he crushes, you know, and I crush too, but he crushes with bad jokes. In my head, I think I crush with good jokes. The difference is negligible. I mean, like, it's in my head, and I believe in it, but it doesn't matter to those crowds.
There's two places where it matters. One is in your own head when
Yeah.
you're going to bed at night.
Yeah.
And then the other one is with other comedians.
With other comedians.
Yeah.
Which is its own currency.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think, like,
And you're
respect
not,
from comedians is important to me.
And it was the same with me.
Depends on how broke I get in my career, though. It
Sure.
might get less.
Yeah,
Respect for comedians might.
We're back
yeah.
to the movie.
Yeah.
So it's, and all things, other things being equal, you're not getting respect for the comedians, but bombing.
Right.
You're crushing and respect for the comedians.
Which is the goal.
It's like,
yeah.
it's the goal. That's.
But it is. Well, here's a question: what do you think values? What would you value more in a comedian? A comedian with bad jokes who crushes, or a comedian with okay jokes that crushes?
Yeah.
Or a comedian with unique jokes that doesn't always do very well. Who do you think is like a better comic? Who would you rather watch?
Oh.
I think that says a lot about maybe what each comedian ultimately values. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough. I mean, how bad is the crusher?
I guess that's the problem. Yeah.
Average jokes who crushes. There's a thing where like, oh, you're a good performer. I guess that's fun. You know,
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
a part of comedy. You can't crush without being a good performer.
Right.
If you have bad jokes.
Right.
So, but if it's all, I don't know, like if it's all like just tricks or crowd work or whatever, then I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not interested. I think personally, I would like to see the unique joke no matter what.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a tough career if you're not doing well on stage.
Right.
With
And then
unique
also,
jokes.
if like, let's say you're booking a show.
You want to mix, probably.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I'd rather see a comedian with unique jokes. That being said,
yeah,
that distorts my view where there's a lot of comedians I love, but if I were to be completely honest, I'm like, oh, they're probably pretty inconsistent. I just like their jokes. You know what I mean?
they're consistently good.
Or they don't always do well.
Yeah.
They're not reliable.
The thing, though,
But I kind of ignore that because I value jokes
Sure.
more than that.
Yeah.
And also
Same.
watching someone crush is kind of boring, and like it's actually not funny.
True. Yeah. What's funny is when it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
But it's I think that comedian with the unique jokes has a higher ceiling.
Yes.
You're going to put it into like sports terms.
Yeah.
They can go to the moon
Yes.
as a comic, whereas
Yes.
the person
Yes, I agree.
cannot if it's just the average. If it's jokes you've kind of heard, it's like, oh, they're not really digging deep. There's no extra
I agree.
level.
It's actually, you have more room to grow if you have good jokes but bad stage presence.
Yeah, 'cause
than
you-
good stage presence and bad jokes.
Yeah.
Because if you have good stage presence and bad jokes, you'll never feel motivated to grow.
Yeah, 'cause you're
You'll
crushing.
just stick there. But like the mind to think of good jokes, that mind, that desire, well, I think the stage presence can come later.
It just becomes
It's easier for that to come than the
Yes.
You know,
Than the
I do
material.
believe that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you see like a comedian with bad jokes and bad stage presence, and another comedian with good jokes and bad stage presence, they're both new.
Yeah.
Or I mean, whatever. The
Yeah,
reverse.
I know what you're saying.
I feel like you'd be like, in 10 years, one of them will be a lot better than the other one. You know?
I try to work with people if I need like an opener or something.
Yeah.
I'll take the clever joke person 100 times out of
Well,
100.
for sure. I don't want some hack doing crowd work in front of me.
I thought you were going to say crushing.
yeah. Or crushing. Yeah.
No. But I'm like, because you're going to get good.
Yeah.
I'll come back to this town in 2 years and you'll be like the king of the town.
Exactly.
Because you know, like
Right.
your brain is thinking differently.
I mean, don't get me started on crowd work. I think crowd work is basically, you could just tickle the audience and they laugh that way.
Agreed.
I mean, it's like, so what? You're like, yeah, they're laughing because it's happening in the room.
It's bizarre that it's a thing we all know how to do. It would be like if spinning a basketball on your finger became the number one requirement to be in the NBA.
Yeah.
And every NBA player was like, okay, well, we all know how to do that.
Yeah,
I didn't know
exactly.
that was all it took.
Audience are impressed by the easiest things, and they're least impressed by the hardest things.
Yeah.
You know? And like, so, but anyway, yeah. I mean, but so back to the movie,
Yes.
Adaptation. Is this your favorite Charlie Kaufman movie?
It is, and I'm such an idiot. I was hoping you wouldn't ask me what I thought about the other Charlie Kaufman movies because it's been so long since I've seen them.
Well, I do
Charlie
I love
Kaufman
being
movies.
John Malkovich. I think that's great. But
Yeah, I do too, but it's been so like I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen it.
right. Give it another watch. It's still great. I mean, those two are just so great. And I mean, I love them both in different ways. But yeah, I mean, Adaptation is in conclusion.
Yes.
Adaptation is just so funny, so human, and so unique. And like honestly, after watching Backrooms, like it was just hearing a guy just having a movie where you haven't even seen the first image and I'm already laughing.
Yeah.
It's just like oh my, the human touch.
Yeah.
And this is a movie about human beings and a human being feeling the pressure to follow this kind of formula, and that formula is almost like the craftsmanship part of it, and he's just trying to get these authentic emotions. He's trying to figure out the two. So like it's just I don't know. It was very refreshing.
And there's no way it's just relatable to us. Like any job,
yeah,
anywhere you work, I'm sure there's somebody who's doing it like just like kissing up to the boss, doing it the easy way, and you're like, no, but I'm the real creative. I'm the one thinking, or whatever it might be. There's a combo. I don't know. It's super relatable.
But I guess you do need both. I mean, I guess you need, or you can learn from both. You need the creativity from that side, but some of the effortlessness and not always thinking on the other side. You need both to be a full human being. Well, this has been a fun episode, man. Let's bring up your special one more time.
Thank you. Buttoned Up and Unhinged, TurnerSparks.com. Just go there, and there's
Check
a
it
link,
out.
and you'll get it.
Very funny guy, and really funny guy. And for me, I'm in. Hopefully, we'll have this out by tomorrow. So catch me at Tacoma Comedy Club this Saturday. I'm filling in last minute for Mike Epps. So it might not be my crowd. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Go out.
No,
Come to the.
It's Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah.
It'll be your crowd.
Come to the show. Tacoma Comedy Club, the bigger downtown room, 2 shows. You can get tickets now, punchup.live/Raanan/tickets. Also, please subscribe to me on PunchUp. If you look at my tickets, it'll give you you can subscribe right there. I try to get a bigger mailing list so you'll know when I'm in your town. And as always, check out Memory Room, my short film I made. Watch it, like it. We just hit 100,000 views after a month.
Wow.
Very excited. The comments have been amazing. So, yeah, watch that. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week. Cut.
Raanan is fat and he's a Jew. He'll tell you something that you already knew. Your favorite movie sucks. Your favorite movie sucks. American Beauty or Forrest Gump, your favorite movie sucks.